autos. We are heading into a new year. There are a slew of new launches. There's also the auto sales numbers that come out on Sunday. Kotak Securities has a note on the auto sector where they sound very cautious. They've downgraded growth estimates for the domestic passenger vehicle segment to a moderate 3% from the 8% that they had earlier. To discuss what's going wrong, Rishi Vora, the institutional equities at Kotak Securities, joins in now. He tracks the space closely. Rishi, good morning. Thanks for joining in. Why have you downgraded the growth estimates for the passenger vehicle space? What is your biggest concern? And in terms of individual stocks, where are you most cautious now?
Right. Good morning, Sonia. So if you look at this year, FY23, we will end around 24% YOY growth in the domestic passenger vehicle market, which is a pretty strong growth. Obviously, there was a lot of pent-up demand which the industry had over the last 1.5 years due to supply chain issues. Now, going into FY24, there are few challenges which I see for the sector. One is, upcoming regulatory emission and safety norms for the sector, which will further increase the cost of a vehicle. Secondly, also this pent-up demand, we expect it to wane off a little going into FY24. And also, if we look at the inventory levels for few of the models, it's already reached 1.5 months and even closer to 2 months for a few models. Thirdly, also for the industry, almost 11% of the volumes comes from the CNG segment, and the prices continues to remain at elevated levels, which in our view will defer the demand, at least the replacement demand in the CNG vehicle. And obviously, higher interest rates, higher inflation obviously impacts the savings for the household. That will also have some bearing going into FY24. So, all multitude of these factors we believe will weigh on the overall recovery of the it will recover, but we expect it to moderate a little going into FY24, and obviously base is also pretty high.
You do with individual stocks. M&M, for example, has been the biggest gainer in 2022.
Right.
It has a slew of new launches, the first ever electric vehicle SUV coming out in Jan. Do you see more upsides here despite your overall cautious view on the sector?
EV obviously will be one of the bigger triggers for M&M. Going into next year, M&M has only like two launches, 2 to 3 newer launches. One is obviously the electric XUV 400. We'll have to see pricing of that product. That would be very critical in my view to understand, the monthly sales which that product could do. Apart from XUV 400, they have 5-door Thar, and then their next EV comes by end of December, 2024. So that's a pretty long time. So like over the next 2 years, there are just two launches, for Mahindra, which will drive the sales momentum. But overall, I'll still be a little cautious. But for M&M on the tractor side, which is still, important segment for them, that continues to do well. That remains steady. So that will, in our view, will support the earnings point.
The stock of 2021 on the way up was Tata Motors, and it is also the stock of 2022, this time on the way down. I see you have an ad rating on Tata Motors now. Is that because of the correction that we've seen in the stock price, or is there anything fundamentally that may surprise you on the upside in 2023?
It's mainly to do with the correction that has already happened from 500 odd levels. JLR again remains, the business overall remains quite volatile because of supply chain issues, risk of a global recession that will again weigh on the volumes, especially in the developed geographies. So we'll have to see. Next 2 quarters, in my view, will be at least a little bit challenging for the JLR business. And post that, I guess we will see, stock recovering as well as volumes recovering for the JLR business. But yeah, next 2 quarters, we may see some pressure.
All right. Thanks very much for that. So that's a quick view from Kotak on the auto space, cautious broadly. Now, Sudarshan is joining us for his 9-10 calls, 5 minutes to go.